Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of inspiration and realness. Also, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, personality, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, and now the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself from his Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts, Mr. Shenanigans himself, and the two-time Chilling 3000 2022 End of the Year Awards winner, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. This is episode 826, and we're going to talk about the fallout from Heatwave tonight as NXT is just over. And we're going to recap what's going on NXT. Starting with the steel cage matchup in the Creed brothers face the dyad of Schism, and if the Creed brothers win, they get reinstated in NXT. Well, Schism decided to make sure that didn't happen because they took out Brutus by Schism, the hooded members, the masked members of Schism, took out Brutus and dragged him out to the back. Meanwhile, leaving Julius to fend for himself against the dyad. So, Joe Gacy and Ava Raine and the dyad thought they had everything during the matchup. Everything went their way until Brutus came out, once again shoving Schism member after Schism member aside. Joe Gacy's taunting him with the keys. And then, all of a sudden, again, Brutus Creed just rolled over to Schism like a bunch of pinballs, not pinball, a bunch of bowling pins. And then he pulled a cane. That's right. He ripped the steel door off the cage with his bare hands. And then used it as a weapon against the dyad. Julius gets back in it. 1, 2, 3. The Creed brothers are now reunited. Diamond Mine is now reunited in NXT. And Ivy Nile was celebrating with them in the middle of the ring. So, and the Global Heritage Invitational begins. Here's how this works. There will be 12-minute matches and a 12-minute limit. A pinfall or submission worth 2 points. A draw is worth 1. A loss is worth none. And whoever has the most points in Group A and Group B will face each other in a number 1 contenders match for the Heritage Cup Championship against Noam Dar at No Mercy. Group A will include Axiom, Butch, Charlie Dempsey, and Tyler Bate. In Group B, it will be Nathan Frazier, Duke Hudson, Akira Tozawa, and Joe Coffey. And Roxanne Perez decided to cut a promo on the four-way matchup, saying that she's going to get back to what she never lost. Carmella Hayes was talking to the family and Tony D'Angelo and Stacks as they were talking about them being all champions, and they said, well, I need to deal with the situation. So, anyways, and meanwhile, when Street Profits came to interrupt them, and I think the Street Profits maybe looking to make some gold, or I don't know why the Street Profits were in NXT, but it was a surprise appearance by them, an unexpected appearance nonetheless. And while the Street Profits were talking to the family, cat fight breaks out. That's right, 2 tag teams, Dana Brooke and Kaylani Jordan, were brawling with Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice. That would lead to a tag team matchup down the road. Meanwhile, Mackenzie, I'm jumping ahead here. And Butch went one-on-one with Charlie Dempsey, and Butch ended up picking up the victory over Charlie Dempsey. He got 2 points for Group A. Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Dragon Lee, and Dragon Lee says he might want to get a shot in the North American title, but then Mustafa Ali says, listen, it's my turn to get the United States North American title shot. Ilya Dragunov addresses his matchup against Trick Williams until, hello, hear me down. What's going on? Impromptu sessions, Supernova sessions 11. I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. We got Noam Dar. 2 started running their mouth. They started jaw-jacking back and forth, and then Oral Mensah decided to come down and said, because Ilya Dragunov won a fight, and said, you're not wood. And then Mensah and Dragunov and Mensa were brawling. Von Wagner addresses Braun Breaker, and next week they're going to have a no DQ matchup for a battle of second generation superstars. Meanwhile, Dana Brooke and Keilani Joining went up against Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice, and Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez picked up the victory, which angered Dana Brooke. Meanwhile, the lovely, curvaceous, babylicious, and gorgeous Gigi Dolan got a promo on the Fatal 4-Way and stated her case of why she should be the next NXT Women's Champion. Then Carmelo Hayes talks to Trick Williams and says, hey, Wesley, it was a heck of a match, man. Wesley did his thing. And, I proved myself again. I proved myself even though I didn't win the match against the Mad Dragon. And they were talking, and do you think I should I could beat Dragon up? I don't think. He goes, and he goes, thank you, that's all I need. I was like, oh, what? And then as Carmelo Hayes walks out, Trick Williams goes, I know you can beat. I don't think you can. I know you can. I think he wanted to say that. But Carmelo Hayes walked down on him. So that's that. Eddie Thorpe took on Dijak, and both men fought before the bell. And then when the bell rang, they went at it. And Dijak kind of used, I think, a loaded foot or something like that to knock out Eddie Thorpe, giving him the victory over Eddie Thorpe. Kiana James had her say so in the Fatal 4-Way. Baron Corbin was complaining to a staff member, and then Braun Breaker interrupts Baron Corbin, saying that saying thanks for helping me. No, we didn't have help, and then Braun Breaker says he's going to beat Von Wagner, and if you don't watch it, it'll be the end of days for you. And Baron Corbin, I think Baron Corbin's starting to realize how arrogant Braun Breaker is, and it'll be really cool to see Baron Corbin be good and take Mr. Breaker down a peg or two. I think that's needed. Meanwhile, Angel Garza woke up from a dream and saw his body all had a scratch and blood in it. And he goes, "You think I'm crazy?" And then Humberto Carrillo comes over and talks to him. And he says, "You think I'm crazy?" And he goes, "No, same thing." So I think Angel and Humberto return next week. The Garza Dynasty. That's what it should be. Time for the Garza Dynasty to rise. Meanwhile, a tribute to Bray Wyatt. Once again, Bray Wyatt got a start in NXT, man. Or actually FCW that transformed to NXT. And one of the most, brightest minds in wrestling, as Vic Joseph was saying. And they played his old theme song, and everybody had their cell phone flashlights for the Fireflies. So did Vic and Booker T, which I think was really cool and classy. They showed their love to Bray Wyatt. Hey, you got a big start here, man. Let me tell you, we're gonna miss Bray Wyatt, definitely. Meanwhile, Blair Davenport had her say in the Fatal 4-Way, and then Group B matchup. Nathan Frazier the former North American Heritage Cup champion versus Joe Coffey, and Coffey ended up picking up the victory for Group B. Meanwhile, Chase U was talking about the Global Heritage Invitation, where Duke Hudson will be represented in the tournament. And they realized that Thea Hale did not show up for class. And then Chase is like, "Hey, you didn't show up for class," and all that. And she goes, "Oh, now you're here." And then Thea Hale goes, "Well, I'm not going to study hall. I have plans on going out." And then J.C. Jane was waiting the door. "Thea, you coming?" So it seems like Thea Hale and J.C. Jane are joining forces. And if that's the case, that's going to be very dangerous for the women's tag team division. So, but with the belts can go anywhere they want. So the champs can go anywhere they're out. You have Chelsea Green and Piper Niven as the champions. And they got their start in NXT, so I wouldn't be surprised if they show up there. Meanwhile, Fallon Henley decided to talk to Miles Bourne about joining forces with Briggs and Jensen in a matchup against Gulag Dempsey and Kemp. I think Miles Bourne wants an opportunity, and since Drew Gulak's not giving it to them, look, Fallon Henley had played a smart move. So, and he thanked Fallon Henley. So there you go. Meanwhile, Wesley had an Instagram promo on Hayes. He said, listen, we may have a chance to run it back, but right now I need to clear my head and all that. So, and then come on Hayes checking it out. Although Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Tyler Bate and Tyler Bate ran down, took the time to analyze all the potential opponents, and he said, Butch is a good friend, also rival, and I would like to see it run it back one more time. So, and that could be, it is a round robin tournament, this Global Heritage Invitational, by the way. So you got that one. And the Fatal 4-Way happened. The number one contenders matchup, Roxanne Perez versus Gigi Dolan versus Kiana James versus Blair Davenport. And in a surprise move, Kiana James picked up the victory. And she'll face Tiffany Stratton next week. It'll be very interesting how these ladies will go up against each other. This is going to be an interesting. You get Tiffany Stratton likes to go on town, shop, and all this good stuff, while Kiana James is a business-minded woman. So this is going to be an interesting contrast of styles. We'll see how ladies respond. And to end NXT tonight, Carmelo Hayes decided to go into Shawn Michaels' office and talk to him, possibly about a potential opponent or what he feels about being NXT champion. Well, that's all the time we have on this show. Episode 826 has been complete. And tomorrow we're going to play some Joker's Wild. We'll see what happens then. And I'm probably going to get another top 10 list for Power Rangers. Probably the top 10 favorite 6th Rangers. That will be my topic. Until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with A Sweet Bowl for Raving Dingleberries Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another great episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Until the next episode, goodbye for now.